the neuroscience behind Mind Palace memory introduction, unveiling the power of the Mind Palace. The Mind Palace technique, also known as the method of loci, is a powerful mnemonic strategy used by memory champions and everyday learners alike. This method transforms abstract information into vivid mental images tethered to familiar spatial contexts, sparking both fascination and mystery. In unraveling the science behind the Mind Palace, our goal is to demystify how the brain orchestrates this remarkable ability, empowering you to harness this technique to boost your own memory skills. The brain's architecture for memory. At the core of our memory systems lies the hippocampus, a small but critical structure nestled within the brain. The hippocampus plays a central role in forming, storing, and retrieving memories. Beyond mere memory formation, it's intimately involved in spatial navigation, allowing us to mentally map the world around us. This alignment is fundamental to the Mind Palace technique. Research has shown that place cells in the hippocampus activate when we navigate or even imagine moving through familiar spaces. These cells enable our brains to associate specific locations with distinct pieces of information. Essentially, as you create your mental map, whether of your childhood home or a familiar street, your hippocampus is hard at work, drawing on spatial memory processes to reinforce and retrieve data when needed. The Mind Palace technique, explained the Mind Palace method, transforms the act of memorization into a dynamic and creative process. Start by choosing a location you know well, such as your home or a favorite pathway. Each room or landmark in this familiar space acts as a memory slot, where you can store important information. For example, imagine you need to remember a shopping list. Visualize a giant loaf of bread sitting prominently on your living room table. Conjure up the image of a carton of milk spilling in your kitchen. Picture a burst of colorful apples arranged neatly in a specific corner of your bedroom. By linking each item to a vividly imagined location, you create strong, unique associations that are easier to recall. The key to success with the Mind Palace is employing keen attention to detail and creative imagery, both of which make the stored information more resilient in your memory network. Putting the Mind Palace to work. Building an effective Mind Palace is a practical skill you can develop with practice. Here are some actionable tips for constructing your own memory haven. Choose a familiar location. Select a place you know intimately. This could be your current home, an old classroom, or even a frequently visited park. Define clear landmarks. Identify specific, distinct landmarks along your chosen route. These might include doorways, distinct pieces of furniture, or outdoor statues. Assign information to landmarks. As you mentally traverse your chosen space, attach individual pieces of information, such as items on a list, key points of a speech, or chronological events to each landmark. Use vivid imagery. The more detailed and unusual your mental associations, the better. Think of transforming routine objects into extraordinary, attention-grabbing cues. Practice retrieval. Regularly walk through your Mind Palace to reinforce the pathways and strengthen long-term recall. Memory champions have long relied on this technique to achieve seemingly remarkable feats. From memorizing vast sequences of numbers to recalling complex historical timelines, their success illustrates that with a structured approach, anyone can leverage the Mind Palace technique to enhance cognitive performance. Conclusion: unleash your memory potential. The neuroscience behind the Mind Palace illustrates how our brains naturally intertwine spatial processing with memory formation. By harnessing the hippocampus's intrinsic ability to create mental maps, you can convert abstract data into memorable visual cues. Whether you're memorizing everyday tasks, studying for an exam, or preparing an influential presentation, the Mind Palace technique offers a gateway to more resilient and effective memory retention. Embark on your own journey of cognitive empowerment by designing and using your Mind Palace. Experiment with different environments, associations, and images. And soon, you may discover that enhancing your memory is not just a skill, but an art where science meets creativity. Share your experiences and breakthroughs, and join a growing community eager to explore the intersection of neuroscience and mnemonic mastery.